Welcome to Society Begins at Home, a podcast by the University of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Raleigh Dominic Hussein, and this series explores the role of the family in shaping individuals and ultimately our society. Today, I'm joined by an individual who is a household name in Trinidad and Tobago. Actress, director, playwright, teacher, and producer with an extensive career on stage, on television, and in the local film industry. Miss Penelope Spencer. Welcome, Penny. How are you?
Thank you, Dominic. I am blessed. I am beautiful.
I am so excited about today. I'm so happy that you took the time to join us.
I am so happy that it's you I met. I was like, hey, Dominic, I'm feeling so at home already.
So you didn't bring nothing for me?
Not a thing. Had I, as deceased John Isaac would say, had I knew that I would have brought a cake.
Well, you know what? Just have a little doubles vendor this side.
Yeah?
You know you must find a doubles vendor everywhere.
Of course. On my way out, I will check
Yes.
in.
We could go and have one with slides, you know.
Yeah.
But we are here today to talk a bit about society.
Yes.
And I know you're a very socially conscious person.
I think I am, yes.
And I know we will have a lot to talk about.
Mhm.
So, you know, just for the interest of our viewers, tell us a little bit about you now. Yes. A little bit, eh?
A little bit,
Yes.
yes. I will try and condense that.
Mhm.
Penelope Spencer, I was born in San Fernando.
Sando.
Yes, I'm a South girl. I did dance. I started off as a dancer with the
Yes.
Arawak's Dance Company, actually under Torrance Muhammad. And I danced and one day he asked us to go to Port of Spain for an audition, you know, because they was going to do a musical in town and they wanted some dancers. And Arosita Halgod, I love him. He said, no, I want to see singers dance and I want to hear dancers speak and I want to see, you know, mix it up. And so I eventually read a part and that's how I started acting, really. You know, I did a little thing in secondary school because my teacher thought I was talkative. I don't see why. I don't know how.
I was always told as a child, you know, he talks too much. And look at me, getting paid to talk now.
I know.
You know?
Same here.
Yes.
So I did a little thing in secondary school. So I never thought I would be an actress. But yeah, and so that's how I have a son. I have 4 granddaughters.
Woo.
Yes, and I run Necessary Arts School where we do drama and for stage and film and life. You know, drama is about life, I always say. You know, so yeah, and I teach at Newton Girls for over 26 years. I've been there as a drama teacher, a creative writing teacher, you know, storytelling teacher. You know, and I'm at St. Ursula's School. I've been around a lot of schools in Trinidad.
Yes. And
so that's a little bit about me.
Against that
and
backdrop,
I run CPR, sorry, that's my production company with Rhodey, Cecilia, Sharon, and myself. Yeah,
yes, and they always active. They always have things going on. What, in your opinion, is a good citizen, and what are some qualities you believe a good citizen should display?
I think a good citizen starts off being a good human being. You have to start with your humanity, you know, and that is the start of a good citizen, you know, because a citizen is one who is patriotic, one who is, love our land and respect our space, you know, and that starts from being a good human. Yeah. You know, the way you were brought up, you know, don't litter, little simple things, you know, you know, don't litter, be respectful, understand our pledge and our allegiances and understand all of it and understand why, you know, and you do that with your children, you know, you teach them these things and mommy, why I have to say the pledge or why I have to do the anthem, you know, understand how important those things are to, you know, developing yourself as a good citizen.
You know, you said, you know, we teach our children that. And sometimes I wonder, you know, if home really understands the role it plays. So what role do you think home should play in helping the members of the family develop into good citizens?
I know. You see, homes are not what it used to be. You know, my home and my neighbor's home are usually different in this town nowadays. You know, I mean, an ideal home is being there for each other. That support of family is so important to the development of a child. That support, knowing that safe space, you know, that safe space is what home to me, you know. It is a place that I feel comfortable, and that is the place that will nurture me to go out in society. That is the place that will tell me saying good morning and using my manners. You know, you grow up with your manners. Say good morning.
Yes.
You
Good
know?
morning, miss.
Yes,
Good morning, sir.
yes,
Good morning, auntie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what home does, you know. It starts off in the home. You know, so if you are not teaching a child this at home, what do you expect out there? You know,
right.
I have a saying that from Rumi: teach a child to learn to love pets. Let a child learn to love pets, and they will learn to love human beings.
Yeah.
You know, do things like that. Get a little pet, a bird, a fish. You know, sometimes, you know, encourage. That's what the home should do. Encourage a child to nurture something. If it's a plant.
You said,
you know,
that safe space, but also a space where, you know, they are encouraged to show the love and respect.
Of course.
First, for the members of the family.
Of course.
You know?
Loving your brother, loving your mother, understanding. And that's, the home is where you recognize struggle. The home is where you recognize love.
Yeah.
The home is where you recognize everything that you're going to meet out there. So we have to, as nurturers in a home, we have to be able to discuss with the children what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, emotions, you know. A lot of children, I teach drama to children, and a lot of children don't understand emotions and how to deal with emotions, you know. So this is where it starts in the home, and it starts at between 2 and 5, up to 5 years, is the foundation you're building there. You know, so it is important, and that comes from the home. You know, because most of the time that child is in the home.
When a child sometimes just have an outburst, oh God, she's a drama queen.
Yeah.
But you didn't help that child to understand that emotion.
Of course.
Parents are not helping the children to understand, okay, it's fine to be mad, you know, but here what happening.
Yeah.
Time and place, right?
You are exactly in the inside voice. You too always ask where she get that from, because children are mirrors. Everything is a mirror.
Yes.
You know, so when your child explode that, you have to question yourself first. Where she get that from?
Yes.
Is this something I did? Is this something her aunt did, or something the grandmother did?
Where she seen that?
Where she seen that?
Yeah.
And then nurture that, because you don't want to, you know, hold back the child.
True.
Darling, you keep your inside voice when you go outside. You know, you don't do that outside. You know, but we have a society now. It's cute. Everything cute. Disrespectful. Oh, she's funny.
And they record it and now be uploaded.
Yes, and they put it on Facebook and think it's cute. It's not. You have to be able to think as a parent, future.
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah.
What am I raising? Who am I raising? You know, what do I expect from this child I'm raising?
Do you think that responsibility parents has could also trickle down? Like really, what perspective or what role do you think, let's say like the community, neighbors, the church, the network, would play?
Yeah, would play. It should play. I mean, long time that was a thing. Your neighbor could call you and say, "I see a little son outside by the market with some fellas," you know, and you would respect that and say, "Okay, thank you for calling me." But nowadays it's totally different.
Why don't mind your business?
Yeah, mind your business. And then you don't know who your neighbors are anymore.
True.
You know, you don't know their backgrounds, and because there are a lot of sick people out there. So I'm not going to say my neighbors have to be the ones that I know very well over 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
I know, I sit down with them, we drink tea together, we laugh together. Those are my neighbors. I can't trust anybody with my child nowadays, because you don't know. But it is important. I say, if somebody don't trust me, I want to be able still to say, Miss Gloria, I saw your child in a situation, I don't like it. You know, you don't have to listen to me, but at least, you know, if we could get to that level, at least talk simple things, you know, and respect and suss out as a parent. They being positive, they being negative, what they're trying to make a bacchanal, understand. But the institutions have a wonderful, church is important, Sunday school was important long time.
Important, yes.
Hello, we had to do our Sunday school. I mean, these are the places, even school. I hear people talking about, I didn't learn anything in school. Well, them thing in primary school we learn. We are using it now. Of course we're using it now. Because primary school taught us to be patient.
Yes.
Primary school taught us about the manners. Primary school taught us about working with group and teams.
Yeah.
So these institutions are important for our development. And we just have to be able to know how to maneuver ourselves around them. You don't go to church because, oh Lord, Sunday morning you have market, you have what to do. But you have other services. Take one of these services. There are not one service on a Sunday morning. There are other places. Maneuver you around yourself because those institutions are important to be able to get a child, our children grounded.
Yes.
In some kind of structure and belief system. So those institutions are important. Library is important. Join your child to the library. Reading is so important.
Reading is very important. It helps you to uncover so many things.
Yes, yes.
But what are some of the challenges to be overcome by parents today? And they're really looking at the nurturing and the raising of young persons in their care. What are some of the challenges you are seeing? I mean, you are interacting with so many children and teenagers coming. What are they telling you? And what are you seeing?
Parents don't understand.
Yeah.
Parents don't understand. Parents want to push what their thoughts on life on them. You get children say, my mother don't think the arts have anything in it. I should be a doctor or a lawyer, Parents are not giving their children opening, doors for them. They open their door for them. I want you here. This is where you have to be. That have no money in it. I always tell them I am an artist. I have my own house. I have my car. I'm doing it all. I try to encourage them other than, because the arts is not, nothing, no small thing to deal with. I do a lot of things. I do casting, I do acting, I do dancing, I do writing, I do directing. So it is important to push our children. Push them to the best. And that's what the challenge is hard. We don't understand their music. We don't understand their friends sometimes. We don't understand their choices. But you have to get in there and try and understand. Make them understand. Make them also understand you're the parent and you also have some kind of experience. And they have to trust what you're talking about.
Yes.
They must trust what you are saying. Of course, there are always good and bad in everything.
Of course.
Always. But you, as a parent, help them to suss out the difference. But there are many challenges, and we just have to take them and move with it. Because we can't sit down and say, I don't know what to do with this child. Huh? No, go by FPA. There are parenting classes. There are things out there to help people.
Chatting with your friends, your peers, to just compare notes, so to speak.
But then you have some people, shy. They don't want to make themselves look bad, Go somewhere, Google, do something,
What would you, let's say to parents and guardians, with these challenges that we are seeing sometimes with regards to the discipline that is coming and how children are relating, on let's say, concrete actions, any suggestions on how we would help them overcome these challenges?
You see, it's a constant cycle. Change.
Yeah.
Change is a constant cycle. I remember when I was younger that, my parents didn't understand my music choices, or the way I dressed, or, and now I'm experiencing, saying the same thing that my mother was saying, and it's a cycle, it happens. So we have to ride the wave. We cannot be living in a bubble to be progressive as a society. We have to be able to open and explore and understand and listen to the children music, listen to it, give an opinion.
Listen and don't judge.
Yeah, don't judge. I mean, we can't help but judge it. You can say, I don't like this song too much. I don't like the lyrics. I mean, this part of the lyrics I don't like. I mean, if it's your taste, it's okay, but I really do appreciate you singing this in my house.
Right.
Because sometimes they overdo it with the kind of choices in
True.
music. I mean, I went a Sunday morning, I went to do my hair by some a friend of mine. And the kind of lyrics I heard in one of those Zessa songs, playing, I said, I cringed, you know. But you can't hold them back. And the way we felt about our bodies long time is not what they feel about it now. You know, so we have to understand, but still there's a moral compass as parents that we must instill in our children, you know.
But what would you say are some of the challenges young people face which may influence their desire to an effort to exhibit traits of a good citizen?
I mean, there are lots of things that they're facing. I mean, I am seeing young people scared. The crime.
Yeah.
They don't want to go out. I was doing, during Carnival, I was doing some kind of session with one of these soca artists. And the young people, because they are dancers, the young people say, well, we can't come up, we can't dance up here, you know, because this part of town, because that part of town want to know why we're here. You know, oh, my mother don't want me to come. I have to come home by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I know young people going through a lot. They're going through a lot of challenges. And then now we know all kind of different challenges like medical health challenges like autism and all these things that are going on now.
Yes.
And now we have a title for it, you know, long time. It's stupid.
Yes.
You know, go outside. You know, but now
you kunu
yes, I mean, notice. So, but now we have titles and we understand what these things are. And so parents have challenges. I know 2 parents of autistic children, and the avenues are so slim. But they have avenues. And go behind them and find them and deal with them. Because if you want the best for your child, take on the challenges that they have in, you know, and help them with the challenges. You know, they always have work experience. A lot of young people trying to get work experience and people not giving them a chance.
True.
You know, so they are going through a lot. But all I can tell them is keep at it. When I was younger and I had to get from South to Port of Spain, that was many years ago, I had no money. It was tight.
Yeah.
I used to go on the highway and mop drop. We call it mop drop.
Yeah.
Hitchhike. Oh, and if sometimes the car, they pass me constantly, I would say, I had to think of something else. I will call out a name, Dennis. And they will stop. They will think that they call him. And, you know, but you can't do that now. Don't do that now. But you have to be creative.
Yeah.
You have to be creative. You have to find a way to do it. And that's what I want to tell young people. Do it, you could do it, find a way to do it. And you have to also recognize when this is not for you. Let me try something else. Let me try. You have to be able to recognize.
You can't be doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah, and if you do it once, twice, 3 times, it's not happening, try and move on.
Yeah.
Maybe take a twist to it and do something else, you know. That's surrounding, because I tell children, I want to audition for a show, I want to audition. I say, okay, if you go to the audition, you don't make it, you don't get through, talk to the director. I could do stage hands, I could help with costumes, I could do usher, I find a way.
Just don't throw in the towel.
Just throw in the towel.
Right? Do you think that there's, you know, sometimes, you know, young people just don't understand, they want instant, they want now, because that's the technology we're working with.
Of course.
But the delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Because you spoke about patience
Yeah.
before. Primary school teachers has patience. It's not that time right now.
Yeah, wait your
So
turn.
we are always in a position where we want something now. But a good citizen, you may not always have your way. You may have to wait your turn. You may have to wait for a particular time, right? And that is the tolerance part will come into play there.
Yes.
It's a discipline.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
And we need to, I guess, make sure that we are mindful of these things so that we exhibit these qualities.
And these are the hurdles that you'll go through life. Sometimes you don't get through. Your spirituality is so important in life too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important to be connecting with your God, whoever your God is. Krishna, Jehovah, you know, whoever, Allah, you know, get in contact with your God. And he's such a guide.
Yes.
He's such a guide. You know, and I always tell my people, you don't help those who don't help themselves, you know. So you got to sit down and say, oh, God will help me. He's not a kind of guy. He was made in my image and likeness. So he helps those who help themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and understand that. But go, do it, find a way to make it happen. And also recognize when that is not your thing. Let's try and switch gears, you know. Set a goal. Write down things.
Yeah.
Write down things. Write down things for yourself. Write down things that you for your family. Write down things that for your country. Just write it down. Just
Your
write
plans.
it down. Plan, yeah, make plans.
Yeah.
Make a plan. I always say, you know, shoot for this sky. If you fall, you might fall in the clouds, and that's not bad. Because you're just not staying on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, you have to write down, visualize it. You know, get your vision board, whatever. You know, everybody, young people have the thing now. You know, but anything could be achieved, and you have to instill that in young people now because they could be so disillusioned. When I was younger, I was like 6, 7. Somebody asked me what you want to be when you want to grow up. I was hated that. But I just said I wanted to be a children's doctor. I didn't even have an idea that pediatrician was the word. And then when I was about 15 to 18, I had no clue what I wanted to do. And that is okay.
That is okay, yes.
That is fine.
You just can't be there for too long.
Exactly. Don't stick there. But there's a period, and then after a while, you know, it happened. It happened for me. It came into my life that, yeah, this is what you could do. You're not going to be a medical children doctor, but you're going to theatrically take care of children through the arts.
Yes.
Things could happen.
Yes.
And God would guide you. Just have to be focused.
I think sometimes we focus so much on the cliche things, you know, oh, the doctor, the lawyer, the teacher, you know, and sometimes, you know, a child may just say, I want to be a garbage truck man. And you're like, look at them and it's like, are you mad? And you shut them down, but you don't see that. What about if he owns several garbage trucks and have a big contract?
He has to start off with something.
You understand?
If he starts off with a garbage truck, let him be the best garbage truck man.
Yes.
And then after 2, 3 years, let's see about buying some trucks ourselves.
Yes.
You know, push them, whatever.
With our families in the present structure, we are seeing the statistics are talking more about, yes, we have more nuclear families than extended families. You know, in the past, we'd have had the auntie being there, and the uncle being there, and the grandmother there. You know, do you think that the families are really doing what is necessary to produce young people
Good
that
citizens?
Not all. Not all.
Not all. Not all. Some families depend on the schools to nurture their children that way. You know, some families, some parents, or some mothers, single mothers or single fathers, they know they're always working to try and make the dollar. You know, try to get their child have the best shoes or the best clothes. You know, so sometimes these little things slip them.
It does, yeah.
You know, and they depend on the school to do it. And I do it as a teacher.
Yes.
You know, I let my little ones write out words that are good manners. You know, the little ones, you know, and I always tell them, if your parent not helping you one day, go back the next day.
Yes.
Go back the next day and go back, and then they'll get frustrated and help you. You know? But we as an institution, a school institution, we do what we could do.
Yes.
Because we know that, and you know, we try to balance the scale and make it work, you know?
And sometimes you realize that the institutions, they are playing their roles, but I think it's like home and school has to come together for the child, for the benefit of the child. So we must know what each other are doing. You know, and I am optimistic about it because I think with institutions taking their function seriously, you know, teachers knowing that not all the homes are doing what needs to be done.
To be doing,
Let's see how we could help. And sometimes it's not a discussion, you know, we're just doing it. You know, we will go somewhere, right? Hopefully in a good place, you know. As we, you know, wrap up our little conversation here, what is your hope and expectations for the Tobago for tomorrow? What do you expect?
I see sometimes a lot of our citizens are going away, and we get in a kind of brain drain sometimes. You know, that worries me. All our dancers, top dancers and actors, you know, they're so disillusioned with Trinidad, and they go on, and that worries me, you know. And everybody will say, Penny, why you go away, girl? Why you stay here? You know, like, it's like, ugh. You know, we have to be able to love ourselves. And I love here. I love this place. I mean, government go, government come, whatever. That ain't stopping me from loving, Pagua,
Yeah.
or loving in the African Drum Festival, or loving the Chinese thing.
Our
I
culture in
love
all
this,
elements.
all of it.
Yeah.
I love it, on this. Let's teach our children to love us. Our children are so enamored with American culture, and they don't know about Papa Boy and Sukunia and Laja Bless and Midnight Rubber. We must be able, and we are so unique.
We are.
We are unique.
We are.
I don't understand why we want to go to America to fight about American and their ideas and do the same thing that they're doing. We'll never win. Love this, love our dances, our folk.
Yes.
Love us. And that's one thing we have to start teaching our children.
And it's how we see ourselves,
Yeah.
How we see ourselves.
Exactly.
Because at home, when a child plays dress up, when a child emulates something that is on television, that's why I believe that we, in the home, it's the place to start. What are you allowing your children to watch? The content that we have on TV now, I don't believe we have the local content that should be.
I have children speaking an American accent, normal.
Because they're emulating and they're mimicking.
Yes, and that's what their parents give them. That's their training for some parents.
So the identity
is lost.
Is lost.
Yeah.
And I think we have to really bring back to work on.
Yeah.
Because how we see ourselves as Trinbagonian is important.
Well, you see, it have to be important for the parents.
Yeah.
Has to be important for them.
Yes.
And if it's not important to them, then we spinning top in mud.
Yeah.
As you say, So as a teacher, myself, I always try to give them that.
Yes.
Understand local, love ourselves, In the little shows we do, a carnival show or Christmas show, give some local. What is the local,
Yes.
reference or idea of no snowman? We have other things. We have lovely things.
Yes.
So help them to love us. We have to learn to love us. I love us. I love Trini. I love our food, our culture, our people.
I remember the first time I went to a Halloween party, right? Someone said, well, let's get Dracula. Because I said, Dracula? I said, I'm going as a Sukunia.
Hello.
Right?
Of course.
I said, that's the equivalent. And I remember putting together the costume.
Right.
And going back. But I'd say, that's what we have here. That's what we know.
Yeah.
And nothing is wrong with that.
Exactly.
And of course, they laughed. And guess who won the prize for the costume?
Original, I'm sure
That's
you have gotten as well.
Yeah.
Because we want to do what Americans doing and follow fashion.
Yes.
But what we have is boss. What we have is excellent.
And when we see ourselves there, I think that will go really deeper. That will go wider as citizens. And it's very important to have that value, I believe.
And I feel a lot of us are there, especially when I see like Independence Day and the amount of people that come out.
Yeah.
That is patriotism. That is citizen over. I love that. I love that. Everybody there.
Even defending our culture.
Yeah.
Look, we've had instances with people messing up with doubles and we come out for them.
Hello.
We come out for
people
them.
like that.
Yes.
We don't sit down and take things.
Yes. And it's important.
Yeah. It's important.
Yes.
Loving us is important. Loving ourselves and who we are and our culture is important. You are what you want to be. You are beautiful. You are bright. You are educated. You are Trinidad. You are the wonderfulness that we created, your mother created. From the womb, you born in a country that's full of love and full of culture and full of talent. So understand, we love yourself, love your people, because we are who we are, because God blessed us. So he didn't put us anywhere else. No, he put us right on this land. Why? Because he know the beauty that is Trini.
Thank you so much. You see, I like putting people on the spot.
I know.
Right? But you know what? I'm so delighted to have this conversation.
Yeah,
with
me
you.
too.
And it's something that we just can't stop. We have to keep the conversation going. Because if it's one thing, according to Benjai, Trini could talk, right? But I believe we can always do.
Yeah.
And As we close today, I thank you so much, Penny, for joining us.
Thank you,
at
Dominic.
Society Begins at Home. And it's the conversation we are having about what makes us beautifully Trinbagonian. I thank you so much for joining us today and look forward to our next episode when we have the conversation on society beginning at home.